again, but I thought it was necessary to highlight it, why something like this happens. And the only reason why something like this will happen, it's because it's tolerated. It's tolerated. There's something about our indifference or our silent predisposition to be evil or wicked towards another Nigerian that allows this thing. And again, you may think it's them, but remember, if you follow the logic of at least yesterday's argument, which I was trying to present to you, there is no them in an indirect sense, because we are the country, we are together. If you wonder why these men are brash and violent towards innocent Nigerians, maybe we can trace it to the science of it, the environment, the way they're catered to, the way they themselves are treated, that they probably know no other way to treat you, the innocent civilian, than to treat you the way that they are treated, because it would take an absolute work of miracle for a man who is violated or has been violated, insulted indirectly in some sense, to be kind and good to you. You see that? Okay, so I'm going to play that video. But also another thing I would like to share with you is the Nigerian, how all of this creates not only an internal perception, but an external perception. A few days ago, the news reported that Canada, a Canadian judge, refused to give permanent residence to a Nigerian police officer. The judge judged the officer by calling him evil. And God alone knows what these people hear or read about Nigerians, maybe via the internet, I guess, the news reporting, who knows. This is how People's Gazette reports it. Canadian judge calls Nigerian police evil force, denies permanent residency to ex-corporal. And I'm very sure a few Nigerians may have been happy with this particular development. It was said that this particular corporal went to Canada, or maybe I should just read it verbatim, okay? Justice Van Roy of the Federal Court of Canada, Ottawa, denied Monday Iyangbe, a former corporal of the Nigerian police force, permanent residency in Canada on grounds of his association with the force, which he accused of being corrupt. Well, do you need any more information? Yeah. Having been denied the permanent residency by Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, this particular Nigerian proceeded to court to seek judicial redress. The judge said the Nigerian police had a policy requirement for officers to rape, maim, torture, enslave, disappear, and murder Nigerians, adding all of these were in violation of the Rome Statute on Crimes Against Humanity. I want to even stop there. That this is what a foreign judge thinks about the Nigerian police. Now, if I ask you if you think the judge is right or wrong, many of you will say, yes, I told you that yesterday. These guys don't deserve pity. They don't deserve kindness. They don't deserve consideration. Well, maybe in one sense, you know, this officer who was so desperate for Canadian citizenship that he tried, let's go back again, he tried Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, the IRCC. Given that he had no opportunity through those means, he decided to proceed to court for judicial redress, only to get the worst slap on the face. The judge is saying the Nigerian police had a policy requirement for officers to rape, maim, torture, enslave, disappear, murder Nigerians, adding that all of these violate the Rome Statute on Crimes Against Humanity. In one sense, I tried to deny that the judge could be right when he said, yeah, that the Nigerian police had a policy to enslave, disappear, murder, torture Nigerians. You know, I didn't want to agree with that. I'm still in denial of it. Maybe I would need some kind of direct proof to that, you know. But I don't want to agree. But for me, I think what I want to highlight here is the perception that can be created. Yeah? Okay, good. I want you to stay. Remember, I have moved from the gist of the video I saw of the military guy who put out a video of how the Nigerian state caters to military officers. And according to the video, one can infer that what was provided for officers for 9 men to feed themselves with for 1 month is just appalling. And that is being modest. Because between the protein provided to or for them, I'm thinking the diet has no protein. This is not, and maybe whoever made that provision doesn't think that these men decide to eat well, because how else can you explain that video? I haven't played that video. I just highlighted that story, and I went to the gist about Canadian judge calls Nigerian police force evil and denies one of them permanent residency, okay? So we're going to leave that, and we're going to go to a story reported on social media by a Nigerian who went to the Philippines. I want you to please sit down, because I want to read this story. I want to read this story to us because I think we need to understand that besides the internal Edo governor saying Peter Obi needs to tell me before he comes, and then double speaking it, trying to rework what the statement is supposed to mean. The APC Edo State spokesperson saying we hate him. Besides all of this small, and it's not small to be honest, but you see all this internal small dramatization of madness, wickedness, and evil that we do to ourselves. We may be doing ourselves even a lot more harm when we decide to take ourselves outside of here. There's a way that they perceive us, there's a way they understand us, and there is a way they think they can treat us with the guarantee that nothing better than their treatment will happen. When I read this story yesterday, I wanted to feel for her, but I thought maybe I should also feel for myself. Maybe I should feel for you. That this story shows something, and I would allow you to determine what it is. So a Nigerian goes to the Philippines. Here's her story. I want to begin. I have a commercial break in about 1.5 minutes. After the commercial break, if I don't finish, I'll continue, and then I'll open up the telephone lines. She says, my Manila immigration. I was so excited about my gig in the Philippines. I had prepared thoroughly, spent money for everything necessary, and was genuinely looking forward to the experience. I traveled with my best friend. Flight departed Lagos 3 p.m. On Friday, arrived Qatar 12:20 a.m. That leg was 7 hours, 20 minutes. After that long leg, through the airport, we connected our flight to Manila. It took off 2:30. And then she says, we finally departed and spent 9 hours, 30 minutes in the air. We landed Manila around 4 p.m. Everything changed the moment we got to immigration. We greeted the officers politely, but they were cold and unwelcoming. Still, we remained respectful, handed over our passports. They asked for our visas, which was presented, and then requested every supporting document, which we also provided. When asked if it was our first time in the Philippines, we said yes. They asked if we had cash. I told them I had $500 on me and our cards as backup. We'll go off on a break. When we return, I'll continue reading this message, and then I'll open up the telephone lines. We hold it to be worthy of note. You're on the sunny side.
More right after this. This summer, don't just take a break. Live in it at Ziba Beach Resort. Whether it's summer romance, a summer family escape, or that long overdue solo recharge, Ziba is your slice of beachside bliss. Let the kids roam free while you dive into delicious meals, refreshing ocean dips, and those unbeatable breezy vibes. From daily activities for both kids and adults, there's something for everyone. Just visiting? Don't worry. We've got you covered with our day passes too. Book your summer spot now at zibabeachresort.com or call 0704-730-0013.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Okay, we're We're back, and I'm continuing with the message here. The sunny side. My name is Joyce. We'll hold it to be worthy of note. So I left off where I told you, according to the message by the Nigerian who visited Manila, she said they asked if we had cash. I told them I had $500 on me and my cards as backup. I explained we were being sponsored by a company, the organizers of the event, and answered all their questions honestly. They took our photos, and we assumed we were about to be let through. Instead, one of the officers asked us to follow him to the immigration supervisor's office. We were left there for 3 hours without a word. At one point, I was extremely pressed and asked to use the restroom. A male officer followed me like a criminal. I felt deeply uncomfortable. I am not a criminal, yet I was being treated like one. When I returned, my best friend was being interrogated. After about 20 minutes, it was my turn to be interrogated, of course. They asked what I do for a living. I told them I'm a DJ. They questioned who invited me and soon shifted focus to the organizers. They began asking personal questions like how the sponsor met her husband, who is a Nigerian, and reference records that showed she hadn't left the Philippines since 2019. How is that your business as a visitor? All right, good. Forget. I'm continuing. And I explained that she was already at the airport waiting for us and offered to call her so they could speak with her directly. She was willing to come forward, but they refused to speak to her or allow any contact. We were held from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Then they took our baggages and our tags and told us to follow them to customs. At least 30 officers surrounded us, some holding cameras. We were terrified. They scanned our bags while speaking in their local language and continued to film us. Then they brought in a large dog to sniff our luggages and our bodies. More officers gathered. They made us open our suitcases and went through everything, including our underwear, skincare, hair products, and even empty containers. They found nothing. They repeated the same process with my best friend and again found nothing. Some officers stopped recording, but others continued. There was also a mounted camera pointed at us the entire time. We tried to record for our own protection, but they told us it was not allowed. Still, we found a discreet way to capture part of, what happened. Afterwards, they had the dog sniff our handbags, then searched them by hand, still found nothing. Then they brought the dog up to our bodies again. Once that yielded nothing, they told us to carry our bags and return to immigration. By then, we were physically and emotionally drained. My knees hurt badly. I could barely stand. My best friend approached an officer to ask what was going on. They told her a final decision had been reached. We would not be allowed into the country. No reason was given. When she asked why, they simply said it was a personal decision and could not be disclosed. All this time, the company that was sponsoring was doing everything they could do to intervene. The Nigerian embassy intervened. The Nigerian embassy in Manila had already been contacted and was actively involved. I'll stop here. We will go off on a break to bring you the news update. When we return, I want you to hear this, and then you tell me what you think. Unworthy of note this very beautiful afternoon. We'll be right back. It's 1 p.m. on the clock. My name's Joyce.
And complain about insecurity, and this military are doing well today. We are not commending them.
You're part of Nigeria Info.
You're part of the conversation.
99.3.
Let's talk.
It's 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock.
The news update on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
The Police Service Commission has approved the promotion of 4,741 inspectors nationwide. Out of the total, 4,708 were promoted to assistant superintendents, while 33 became senior inspectors. Also elevated were 38 specialist DSPs and 29 specialist SPs. The decision was reached at a plenary session chaired by DIG Hashimu Argungu, retired, who urged officers to remain dedicated to public service. A suspected drug gang has killed an NDLEA officer during a raid in Ondo town. The officer was shot while on duty at Itanla on Tuesday. Police say 4 suspects have been arrested and a firearm recovered. Away from that, APC member Adamu Garba says sycophants around President Tinubu are painting a false picture that all is well in Nigeria. He warned that opposition groups are ready to exploit the APC's weaknesses. Garba also claimed the party has lost Buhari's 12 million northern votes and must now re-strategize. The ruling All Progressives Congress may announce a new national chairman on Thursday as its NEC meets in Abuja. Ali Dalori has been acting chairman since Abdullahi Gandhi resigned in June. Top contenders include former Nasarawa Governor Tanko Al-Makura and Minister Nentawe Yilwatster as the North Central region pushes to reclaim party leadership. Over 100 aid groups are warning of mass starvation in Gaza, with 10 hunger-related deaths reported in just 24 hours. They accuse Israel of blocking food deliveries. Israel, however, says 958 trucks are currently awaiting distribution. The UK plans to share hotel locations housing migrants with food delivery companies. Meanwhile, BBC Verify is fact-checking viral false claims following major protests in Ukraine. They are also verifying footage of reported Israeli strikes on WHO facilities in Gaza. And that's all the updates we have for you at this time. It is back to the sunny side with Joyce, right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I am Yvonne Ohaifo. Thank you for your time.
Different ideologies.
I have 3 kids, 2.
Tick, says the clock. What we have to do today is worthy of note.
This is Sunny Side with Joyce, only on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
We're talking 99.3 Nigeria Info. You on the sunny side. It's 3 minutes past 1 p.m. Welcome. We hold it to be worthy of note, and I guess, say in some sense, it's a continuation of what may have been our conversation yesterday. But this time around, I'm curious to find out what you have to say about today's topic, unworthy of note. Maybe it's noteworthy because this time around, it's not as obvious as what the issue may be. But whether we are ready to face the problem or look it in the eye to deal with it, there's a consequence for our indifference, or even more interestingly, there's a consequence for what we allow, what we permit as individuals and as a collective. Because while we think there may not be any implications, it'll be naive to assume that there are no implications. So maybe today is the day that we can highlight one of many possible implications. So I'm going to go back to the story I was reading before the news update, and then please be patient with me. I'm almost done, and then I'd love to open up the telephone lines and truly hear from you on this matter as to how what we permit ourselves to be creates a perception and what that perception creates for us. Okay, so I'm back to the message. If you have just tuned in, welcome. You're on the sunny side. My name's Joyce, and this is the story, the experience of a Nigerian who left Nigeria for Manila, the Philippines, and here is their account. So they left Nigeria, met immigration, Philippines. Now the dogs has been sniffing them. They searched their bags. They're being filmed by police officers. They're being detained, I guess, to properly scrutinize them for God knows what, because they were not told. Now the story has gotten to the point where, and I quote, when my friend asked why, they simply said it was a personal decision and could not be disclosed. So the reason for the detention, the search, repeated searches, and delays, at least not told to them, was why. They don't know why, but they're still with the Philippines immigration. All right, so now the lady continues the story, and I'm quoting. The Nigerian embassy in Manila had already been contacted and was actively involved. Despite this, we were led to a transfer desk and told to book a return ticket. Keep in mind, our sponsors and loved ones had been waiting for us since 3 p.m. So by now, according to the story, this must have been 8 to 9 p.m. All right, good. We were asked if we had return tickets, which we did, and the staff helped us reschedule. Since it was already 10:50 p.m. and the next flight to Qatar wasn't until 6 p.m. the next day, we were escorted to a male officer to what we were told was a lounge area. All right. When we arrived at the so-called lounge, our hearts sank. It looked like a detention center. Inside were other people, Africans, including Nigerians. Some had made the place feel like home. Hold on, pardon me, my eyes is drifting a little bit. Some had made the place feel like home. Okay, we met a Nigerian man who had been detained there for a while. It was devastating. By then, the authorities were fully involved. I personally sent emails to all the necessary contacts. The head of Nigerian embassy reached out. The consular officer also contacted me and said they were coming to the airport. The consular officer contacted me and said that they were coming to the airport. This was around 4 a.m. They finally gained access to us. They did all they could, but still nothing changed. The Nigerian embassy did everything they were supposed to do. They called, they came physically, they spoke to the relevant officials, they followed all the flight protocols. They followed all the they followed all the right protocols. Still, Manila immigration refused us entry with no reason or explanation. That was the most painful part. So even Nigerian authority in Manila followed all the right protocols and still nothing changed. Hold on. The embassy officials left around 6 a.m. and promised to return. By that point, we were freezing and exhausted. We asked for blankets. They said no. We asked for cardboard to sleep on the floor like others. They claimed not to have any. We later learned people had to pay for everything there. Eventually, we gathered some plastic bags and cartons to try to rest. 2 hours later, the cold woke us up at 2 a.m. We still hadn't received any positive feedback. Our flight was a few hours away. As we waited, I spoke to others being held and realized our story, though heartbreaking, wasn't the worst. Some people hadn't seen sunlight in over a year. Cameras were everywhere, including the restrooms. There were families, children. One man screamed randomly. Others said he had been there for 4 months without seeing sunlight. A fellow Nigerian told me, quote, if Nigeria was working, most of us would never leave. Exactly 2:05, I received a message that read, good morning, Rachel. The company sponsoring just told me now that the immigration insisted on not letting you guys go. I'm really, really sorry for what they made you go through. It's humiliating and disheartening to get this kind of treatment despite all efforts we made and the intervention from the Nigerian embassy in Manila to salvage the situation. As I write this, waiting for our flight home, I'm still trying to process the pain. This was one of the most traumatic, degrading experiences I've ever endured. We were racially profiled, humiliated, and treated like criminals. We had every required document. We had sponsorship. We had embassy support. Still, we were denied entry, mistreated, locked in what looked like a holding cell without dignity, without answers. The Nigerian government to the Philippine authorities, and to everyone reading this, please understand the depth of this pain. No one should ever be treated like this. No black person traveling for work should be made to feel this disposable, invisible, and disrespected. Okay, and then she puts out a gratitude message. She says, I want to thank a heartfelt thank you to the Nigerian embassy in Manila. Despite the outcome, your dedication, presence, tireless effort meant everything to us in those difficult hours. Thank you for showing up, standing up with us, and doing all you could. We saw you, we felt your support, we're grateful. All right. Woo! After I read this yesterday, I must have spent, I guess, 10 minutes trying to... I guess I was also looking for answers, you know? So here I am, maybe as surprised, shocked, disrespected, humiliated as you are. I want to welcome you to today's conversation. Yesterday I told you that the problem with the Nigerian police is not exclusively the problem of the Nigerian police. I did say to you yesterday that we have to begin to look at these problems through a collective lens. We have to see that while you think that there is a them, that there is a brush that paints us all, and it's the way we are perceived. 0201-2770-993, 0201-465-7190, and on WhatsApp you can send a message, you can call in 08095975805. I think the Nigerian elites treat the poor, or the commoners, the plebeians, as the plebeians permit. I think Nigerians are treated the way they are treated because Nigerians themselves have tolerated. So I think I want to open up the show with that statement, and then you can tell me what you know and what must change. My name's Joyce. We'll hold it to be worthy of note. Good afternoon to you.
Hello?
I'm with you. Good afternoon. Welcome. So good to have you join our conversation.
Good afternoon, Joyce. How are you today?
I'm here. I don't know what to say.
I can feel the pain in your heart. You see, it is time that we all begin to sit back here at home and slot it out once and for all. The humiliation is becoming global. Nigerians cannot move around again across the globe. Nigerians were respected in those days. But look at, since all these characters came on board, the last 15, 20 years, it has been one woe after another. And it's getting worse by the day. Look, everything that's happening across the globe today happens real time. They see what's happening, they know what's happening across the globe. We can't be pretending and deceiving ourselves. I think it is high time people stay back. Those that cannot go, just stay back here. Let's sort it out once and for all. Because we can't continue like this. Enough is enough. The pain is too much. The humiliation is too much. It's not as if we are a bad people. Yes, in every society there are bad people, but it's not as if we're bad people. We're a hard-working nation. We're hard-working people. But look at what is happening across the globe. What we're meant to pass through. Enough is enough. It is time we sit back, stand, and face these guys and take them out, so that we can take back our country. Thank you, Joyce. Have a blessed day.
99.3 Nigeria info you on the sunny side. Welcome. My name's Joyce. What's your name?
Hello, Joyce.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
This is Chris calling from Ikoyi. You will hear their supporters will tell you, oh, it did not start today. And these are government that come, promise to change the way we do things. But still, the same. Can I talk about the Canadian judge?
Yeah.
Hello,
yeah.
Joyce. I don't blame that judge. Nigerian police, Joyce, the bad eggs among them, I will never forget that incident. They robbed me of 70,000 naira. Inspector among them was the one driving my car. The sergeant sitting in front was speaking. When I was speaking with him, the intonation, I said, look, you are from Edo State and look at what you are doing in Lagos State. He said, shut up, why are you arguing with inspector? Nigerian police, the bad eggs among them, we have a lot of them, Joyce. So that guy, that thing that happened to him in Canada is because of the bad ones here. They told me they are taking me to tax force office. They are from tax force, governors, tax force, whatever. Celadon Bridge. We turned back. I'm almost home at Ijesha. They took me all the way to Charlie Boy bus stop. You know Bagada? They stopped and asked me to go here, take your car and go. The car they used, Camry, just because I never expected what happened. I couldn't get the license plate or any of their names on the tag. I only get the first number, FKJ 511. The other figure, I didn't get it. And people at the bus stop say, okay, you get local. This set of police, they shoot one man yesterday. They were using a Toyota Camry, has color. Nigerian police. And people tell me, no, they are fake. No. We have bad eggs among them. So for that guy, that thing that happened to him in Canada, maybe they were protesting yesterday or 2 days ago. Look at what they did to Natasha. The same Nigerian police. Why can't the Canadian judge treat them the way he treat that guy? Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you for calling 99.3 Nigeria Info. You on the sunny side. Welcome. It's a day to hold this to be worthy of note.
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Thank you for being here. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
Yeah, comrade, I can't say you're good, but...
I'm good. I wonder whether you're offended, you know?
It's a mixed feeling. Joyce, there's a propaganda against the blacks. If you meet the average American, it will tell you that Nigeria is a state. They believe that animals roam our streets. This same American, during the invasion of Iran, Iraq now, they were caught, raping kids. And what did they do? The ICC wanted to, prosecute them, and they said they were going to take actions against. We're not the worst in this planet Earth. There are other people who are worse off us. You understand? Those guys are working freely now. These are Americans. These are Marines.
So are you saying that what is happening to us, which we are seeing happening, is a stage where they're dramatizing our evil? We're probably not as evil as they're trying to paint us then.
There's evil all around. But the thing is, they will use that against us. There's a video I was sent to you now where we had soldiers. They were eating something that looked like what's it called? What is you serve the gods, not even good gods, so dirty thing. And the guy was making a video. Definitely won't show his face.
So you don't think that there's a problem here?
No, there's a problem. I'm saying there's a problem, but the way we are being treated, even that the government.
Are we the only black nation? What are you defending this?
I'm not defending this. No, Joyce. I mean, look.
You're just saying that this is just they just hate us. They're giving us a bad name.
I'm not saying. Look, that's not what I'm saying. That's not the message. Like was it last week? Our ex-presidents.
Okay, you know what? I want you to hang up. I want to play an audio. It's just about 1 minute. Then you can think about it and call me back, okay? Because I'm not sure what you're trying to do here.
No,
I beg you, please. I think I tried it yesterday, and yesterday, if you remember, I told you that. Psychologically, I noticed growing up that, the culture would say that women are this, women should be silent, only speak when spoken to, they were marginalized. I saw that a lot. And I said to you yesterday that what I realized scientifically that happens mentally is if you tolerate a form of oppression in one sense, which from what I noticed was for a society that tolerates the oppression of the weak or women or the poor, whatever, because you tolerate it as a people, because you find justification for it, you will suffer it in another way. I know I said that yesterday. Okay, good. Let me play this. I found the video about the military guy, and this I saw this morning. So I want to play it in your hearing, and then we'll go back to the telephone lines. Or the poor, whatever. Because you tolerate it as a people, because you find justification for it, you will suffer it in another way.
For 1 month, now only 5 fish. 9 for 1 month for 10 people for 9 people for location. Imagine. This one, Gary. One pint of Gary. 1 pint of Gary. 1 pint of Gary for 10 people. For 9 people. See beans. Gentlemen, Mona see beans. Mona see beans. Beans, 1 pint of beans. Open this in for me, guys. See. For how many people? 1 pint of beans for 1 month. See potato, where don't spoil. The onion, see potato. Only potato. Potato. See granite, greasy red oil. Where they two this in. One what did they call them? 1 liter. 1 liter. Now they call them. See, see 4 pieces of yam for 1 month. 1 month for 9 people for location. See onions. What do you see? See, for 1 month. See, for 1 month. 1 bag of them. See, now onions. See, onions for 1 month, one whole month for 60,000 for 1 month. One bag of some. See, now onions. See, onions for 1 month, one whole month for 60,000. See, my bag of rice. See, they carry this one, say, "Mo use and they drink water. Mo die with water." See, pot. See, only pot. And this one, and bucket. Now I say, "Mo use and they ourselves. Mo just they do ourselves. Don't worry. See, the same mo fry their grandfather. See what in the same mo fry. Now be potato for 1 month for 9 soldiers. Now be this one, and they collected 60,000 naira for soldiers. How about that? Each soldier 60,000. Each soldier 60,000 for one. See, Gary for 9 people. Now Gary be this one. Muna see you. My country people, I bet Muna see him. I bet that Allah Muna see him. Muna see what person want to talk 1 whole month. See meat. Two. 1 now they share them like this now. 2. For 1 month too.
The meat is not enough for a cat. I just wanted to say that. All right, good. Telephone lines are open. Welcome. How are you?
Yeah, guys. Good afternoon.
Afternoon to you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, Joyce, I'm not happy, with that message, you read out. By now I'm expecting the minister that handles the things like to swing into action, and even the government, finding out why we're not allowed into the country, because a whole lot was not spelled out. The whole lot was not. They were not even giving them the whole reason why they are not allowed into the country, why they're allowed to take them back to their country. So I think by now we should have government agencies. Even because I don't know if she's still the Minister of Natural, or so they need to swing into action. They need to make sure that they follow up this issue and make sure they get it resolved and know why these Nigerians were not allowed into Manila in the first place. You see, what is happening in this country, running away will not fix it. I have said to my children that, look, when you run away from your problem, you come back again and meet the same problem facing you. So you don't run away from your country. You don't even run because things are hard. If by so being, you need to face it squarely, take it by the bull, and ensure you get at it and get something out of it. So if you begin to run away and everybody begin to run away, then who will fix this problem? Everybody needs to be here. I have said to myself, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to remain here, and I'm going to make sure that whoever who can come together and fight our cause here together, not to abuse the government, not even the issue. We need to organize ourselves. We need to come together. Anybody can come and start, this kind of gathering, and we can begin to find a way around it. Get people who have the ideas of what to do, to put back this country in the right place. This wasn't God's intention. This was the whole of man's idea, to put us in this charade of sheer poverty and destroy all our, all our emotional and everything. So we all need to come together and we want to fight it together. Look at what is happening today. Even our military force. Look at how they are being treated, and like people who don't even fit to be in that. That most Nigerians don't want to join the police. They don't want to join the military. They don't want to, because the same treatment on this one too are going to also be rubbed on them too. I would not want to be a military officer because of all these things that are being given out there by the military officers, serving this Nigerian government and serving the people. So, Joyce, I think we all need to come together and begin to find a way, a lasting way to make sure that we get people, the right people in government, those that will fight our battle, those that will make sure that we get the right things even outside the country and within the country. God bless you.
Thank you so much for calling. Skype caller, good afternoon to you. Welcome. It's so good to have you join Nigeria Info.
Hello, good afternoon, George.
Good to have you. Welcome.
Yeah, well, thank you. Look, that message you read to me is really heartbreaking. I can relate because I travel a lot, and I will tell you about one experience I had in Kenya.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Christopher. I'm calling from Bern, Switzerland. So, yeah, in Kenya, all right, I got to the airport. I had everything with me, like the normal thing they were asking. I did the yellow fever thing, the document they needed. So the immigration, I got to the immigration, they asked me for the yellow fever. They asked me for the documents required, I gave them. But when it got to the yellow fever thing, they were looking for something to just keep me there. You understand? So I got to the immigration office, to the immigration stand, and I gave them all the documents. Then they came out telling me the yellow fever document I gave them was fake. Something I did in Nigeria at the office of somewhere around the airport. Original, there was no fake. I told them to call the embassy, to call Nigerian authority and verify. They kept me there for 24 hours until I was able to give them $200. They were calling the police, they were calling everybody to come and search my bag and everything. So I think it has to do with the power of our passports. Because immediately I showed them my passport, they were like, oh, Nigerian, all these Nigerian people, they are here again. I don't know if there's something that maybe I would say maybe our brothers have done something in the country, or I don't know. It was, and it's not only Kenya, even in Turkey. At the airport, they had to take my passport, look at it deep, like I was the only one they separated. I wasn't the only one, but like we were 3 Nigerians. They separate, so it's always the same treatment we get in almost every airport we go to. And it's disheartening that we get into the airport, they separate all the green passports to the side. They thoroughly search you as if you're carrying drugs or something, and you can't talk, because if you start talking, or if you're not in your territory, they will just detain you totally. And then what will you do? They will just tell you that you were carrying drugs and everything. So I don't know how that can be done. And our country has lost, I would say it has lost its prestige outside. And it's because of some of the things that some of our brothers have done in those places too. For example, Philippines, if you go through a lot of news, you will hear a lot of things Nigerians are doing there. So I don't want to say the authorities were targeting us. At the same time, they should be able to decipher that these are the people that are wrong, or check what they have done. They don't have a reason to throw them back or to tell them to leave. So it's just disheartening because we keep getting this treatment every country we go to. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. Welcome. We hold it to be worthy of note. What's your name?
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Good to have you. Welcome to the sunny side.
This is Joseph from Adagbe Houses.
Go ahead, Joe.
You know, one time I've told you that people that they are leading us, they gang against us. They are the problem. They are the problem of this country. If this country is well okay, will you like to leave this country? This country, 80s, early 70s and all, this country it beat the whole world. How much was dollar that time? Let's say 1980, 81, 82. Okay, look at the record now against Nigeria Army, the soldier. Is that how it's supposed to be? Are you encouraging the younger one that wants to come in? It's a pity for this country. God help Nigeria. God bless you.
I'm saying that the reason things happen in Nigeria the way that they happen is because Nigerians themselves are tolerant of abuse. Nigerians themselves tolerate violation. I think that there is a supposition that the other person can be violated and I can just stand by and watch. They can be abused, they can be broken, humiliated, they can be marginalized, and I'll tolerate it. And then I think would like to say to you that what we tolerate, we are perceived to be, even when we are not, in this case, guilty. Let me even tell you the part that even I thought triggered me, was where they said that the Nigerian embassy in the Philippines did not only try to speak to the immigration officers from wherever they were, They made a physical appearance, and nothing changed. They were not found to have broken the law. They had all the necessary documents. They came in legally. Nothing was on them. And then the part of the story where she said they went to a detention center where they saw other Africans, Nigerians who had been there for months. Children were there. In my head, I'm thinking maybe those ones don't have money for a return ticket. I don't know why they're being detained. Why do we have Nigerians somewhere unaccounted for who are not criminals? And something else I want to highlight is that whoever these people are, have the assurance that they will do to us what they will, and nothing will happen. When there's a Nigerian on a Nigerian violation or abuse, and the person who's in the right, who doesn't have much power, wants justice, well, you can see what we do with justice around here. So if someone else decides to do it to you, and they have the assurance that nothing will happen, we hold it to be worthy of note. Welcome to the show. My name is Joyce.
Auntie Joyce, good afternoon.
Afternoon to you.
My name is Ndubisi. Auntie Joyce, it's good to travel outside country and come back. You will know that there's no place like home. That's why we are shouting. What can we do to chase away all these bad leaders and take back our country? Auntie Joyce, I'm of opportunity to travel to 3 countries. I know the way they treat Nigeria. The last country I went to is Cotonou, Guinea. When these people abuse me, I run back to my embassy. My embassy, you know what Nigerian embassy told me? That they are not running charity organization over here. Do you know what I did at Manabo? I lie down in that embassy. I lie down in that their floor. Say, today, yes, my country. You people must send me back home. It's my right. Yes, my country. When they now see the noise, they now call the secretary, now call him, climb up and come meet the embassy, dogger. And that's okay. Call the police. This money for his boat, because then it's through water. They should go and put me, but they should not give me that money in my hand. I said, you will put me in the boat, you will also give me money that will take me back to Lagos. They now see how I was shouting, they now give me money and send me back to Nigeria. I think that is one thing. I always love this man called TB Joshua. The image of Nigeria has spoiled all over the world. But this man, TB Joshua, took it upon himself, try to tell all those white people when they go here. Nigeria is not like what you people say about Nigeria. Nigeria is a good people. It's just few people that is spoiling the image of Nigeria. Nigeria is a lovely people. They love visitors. Do you know that as I'm talking to you now, in Alaba International where I work, you cannot challenge any Chinaman. Dare you challenge any Chinaman and Nigerian police will arrest you. They'll put you in a gadroom. We are lovely people, but they fight him. Do everything to make sure they spoil Nigerian image.
God. Sorry.
As I'm talking to you, just try to insult one Chinaman. Maybe Chinaman now not to hit their car. You try to ask, say, why? Nigerian police will undo you inside motor as I'm talking to you because you talk to Chinaman. But let Nigeria go to China and do anyhow. We are just like a slave. That's why I'm shouting to Nigeria. Please, let's take our country back. No place like home. And if you travel out and see what Nigeria is seen outside, the way they treat Nigeria, they treat Nigeria like a dog, animals. They treat Nigeria anyhow. One Nigerian man was asking me when I was in Orchard. He said, you people have said you're giants of Africa. You have the money. Where are you people going to? Where are you people traveling? Where are you people running up and down? I said, my brother, it's a bad government. It's a bad government. It's a bad government. They said they know. They know, but we need to stay back home and fight and get our country back. I'm begging Nigeria, let's stay at home and fight and get our country back. No place like home. No place like home. No place to compare home. No place. So that's my own suggestion.
Thank you so much for calling. I really do appreciate it. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. Welcome. How are you? So good to have you join our conversation this afternoon. We're live streaming on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. Good afternoon.
My name is Robert.
Welcome, Rob.
Joyce, the last caller
that said we should stay back and take our country back to Nigeria for suffering for. He's a strong supporter of this government that we have. I heard him call Nigeria for overtime and say, so I'm surprised. I don't understand what he's talking about. Well, that is not why I called you anyway. Today, a friend of mine called me from Borno. He's a soldier. He's in the war front. He said, Robert, please send me a card.
Can you turn off whatever it is coming from your end, please?
I don't have anything with me. I'm just with my phone.
Okay.
So the friend said, Robert, send me a card. I want to call my family. I'm in the bush as I speak with you now.
WhatsApp number.
So I can just talk to my family and hear how they feel. Over 6 months now, I've not spoken with my family. I said, no problem. I will see how it goes. So I am just trying to cast my mind back to what is the story. That soldier. Look at what they are eating. Even animals cannot eat what they are being given to. I heard what Sowore said in one of his videos. He said even most of these our leaders, they call themselves generals, and they have not been to war. Somebody will be related with traditional ruler before he know he's promoted to rank of general. The people that are really doing this job are those are the war front. My friends, I have over 10 friends there in Borno fighting these insurgents. I'm telling you the fact. And we talk most of this. They tell me what they go through. You understand? And these people, when they come back to us, what do you think how their mentality will look like? I'm talking about the issue you narrated, the Manila. Joyce, my friends that are over there tell me that the Nigeria passport is just like tissue paper. You understand? In the eyes of some countries, they don't value us. And that boils down to the bad of leadership. Our country presented us to them. That is why they value us that way. You understand? Until we have a good government in this country, those people that travel out, most of them, it's not their wish to travel. It's because of what they are experiencing here. That is why they were forced to go instead of them to die. To live in their country as slaves. Let them change the situation. Maybe life will be better for them and their kids. That's why they move out. Not that it is their wish to leave Nigeria. No. So there's nothing. Somebody says there's no place like home. There are many places that are better than Nigeria as we speak today. You understand? When your government is not good, before move out if you have the means to do that. That's my contribution, my sister. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling. We're going to quickly go to WhatsApp. Hello, WhatsApp caller. Good afternoon to you. Tell us your name and you can go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Joyce. This is Biodun Badmus.
Yeah.
I think I'll tell you exactly why Nigerians are being treated this way overseas, based on my own experience. There was a time I decided to go to my maternal country. That's my mother hailed from the Republic of the Gambia, my father in Nigeria. So while I was on transit, I decided to do the road trip, not by air. I noticed from the Republic of the Benin, we went to Togo. The journey was smooth. From Togo to Burkina Faso. So while heading from Burkina to Mali, at the middle of the trip, we were told to go down to identify ourselves, okay, where we're going to pay some toll gate fees. So Nigerians were told to stay on one particular side. Ghanaians, Sierra Leoneans, and other nationals on other roads. Then what I noticed at that particular point in time, they said Nigerians had to pay 4,500 sefa. The other nationals, 2,500 sefa. I nearly wanted to explode and ask questions why they just said, hey, well, let me just play along. We paid, we went forward. And the only reason why we paid was we were like stranded. Anything could happen there. So when we got to Mali, I now realized why Nigerians are being treated so badly. We were supposed to take a train trip. A Nigerian guy, I think he had gotten stranded in Mali for many years. He approached me and he said, okay, you need to stamp your passport before you enter the train. If not, you're going to be dealt with. So out of ignorance, and I had some money on me. Then Nigerian currency was quite, solid, better than sefa. I changed it to dollars, so I told the guy how much. He told me I should pay 25,000 sefa. So I told him I couldn't pay the 25. I said I could do 20. He said, okay, go just manage it for me. Took my money and he went into the immigration office there. I waited. There was no, in fact, if he had not come out, I would have just lost everything. After some minutes, he came and said, Oga, I tried for you. They never won't collect money, but say, I don't do it for you. I felt relieved. At least I have my passport stamp. I bought the train. Then I noticed something. I saw a Nigerian guy. I knew, like you see a Nigerian, you know them. I wanted to embrace him. I gave him a handshake. He did now give me his left hand to shake. I said, why? Okay, I now realized that right hand, they had changed his hand to the rail of the train, and train was on motion. I said, okay, please, what has happened? He said, no, there's no big. I said, okay, this is a big deal. Why should they chain you? Said maybe in a ticket. I said, tell me the truth. You didn't pay ticket and you entered the train. And I noticed all nationals, like Malians, other, nationals, they were like, mocking his own situation. And then the man that will collect all passports to go and stamp came to me and said, yeah, where's my passport? I said, I stamped. They just grabbed my passport, they seized it. And I told everybody, I said, I'm going to show these people that I'm a different Nigerian. And the way I am, I forced myself down to the first cabin. I was speaking English. None of the officials could, but thank God, I think the head of the cabin was speaking in a way that I could understand. And I told him that they've taken my passport, I've stamped. He now called all their staff. He realized that I stood my ground and he told them to give me back my passport. As they gave me back my passport, I went back to my seat. Will you believe everyone was surprised that a Nigerian would stand up? Because that's my own fight. I'll never give in. Everybody was surprised that so I could get my passport back. So I will tell you something. The Nigerians out there have messed themselves up. Like this other man that complained. All those Nigerians that have been stranded, like 4 months or whatever, they just enter there illegally. Now you get it? So we are the cause of these problems. We don't affiliate.
Yeah, but
with
what about
normal
if the people who are in detention were there illegally, don't you just deport them? Do you treat them like what? Children of a lower god?
They are treated this way because there's nobody to defend them. See, these other people that
exactly
have their
why
rights.
I'm making this a conversation today. This thing where we oppress people, we permit ourselves to watch other people being oppressed, then we can't quite say anything when they do it to us.
Madam, I'll tell you, the moment you decide to do an illegal wrong, expect the unexpected. And
but the person who gave the accounts in this story didn't do anything illegal. The Nigerian embassy. Do you understand how much disrespect it is for your embassy to make a physical appearance before immigration of another office and nothing? Their presence doesn't do anything to change the situation where you are not illegal.
Now, Sister Joseph, I'm going to burst your bubble. If I was in the case, like if I was actually in their shoes, I'd have done something different. That's the way I did in that train, as I told you.
Yeah, you would go and shout that they must let you in. Is what you want to go do. You go and say, you pull someone by the collar and say, you must let me go in. That's what you're going to do.
No, sorry, mother. I wouldn't do it physically, but sometimes the first utterance that comes from you, they know exactly where the case is going to end. It's just you, your your attitude, the way you bring out your points.
Guy,
even telepathically.
No, you are being narrow. No. Immigration was there. The Nigerian embassy made a physical representation. Why are you making this about you?
Well, you have a point, but I think everything is all integrated. It's an unfortunate situation. It's quite an unfortunate situation. So I think Nigerians now should put their acts together. Those that are doing bad things, please, if they need to be prosecuted there, let them face their judgment. For those who think they are being cheated unnecessarily,
Nigeria,
I think this man did the right thing and it has been exploded. At least you are bringing out to the limelight, and I think people are working on it.
Thank you.
We are more, Thank you.
You think we're working on it? This happened 2 days ago. The sunny side, Nigeria Info. Welcome. Thank you for calling.
I think the name of this country has happened today. The name of this country has been bastardized quite a long time ago, and I don't think it's just the masses traveling abroad. I think it's about all the way from the top, from our government to the masses. And I will blame the government more because whatever they are doing, this is the technological age. It's being seen all over the world. Look at the issue of the policeman in Canada. And the judge saying that the police in Nigeria is evil. So you can see how the international world has been able to capture what is happening in this country. Yes, we, the masses, we will have our own fault too, as in the criminal ones. But this is from the federal government. So anybody traveling from Nigeria now, as in for the first time, will have a lot of issues to do. And I think it's about time our leaders stop all this shenanigans, gallivanting with money and everything. They should focus on repairing this country. They are bringing this country to ruins. Joyce, enjoy the rest of the program.
Thank you so much for calling. 99.3 Nigeria Info. I want to go to WhatsApp. Someone is asking for the WhatsApp number 08095975805. If you are going to call from overseas, that's exactly what you should do. Otherwise, you can send me a message. I'd like to read from you. This is, he said, this topic is, thank you very much for this topic. The topic is a very good news for many who believe that Nigerian police deserves this kind of treatment because only the rich people are being secured by the Nigerian police. The judge deserves a carton of wine and a big bowl of rice and chicken for his judgment. Thank you so much, Dan P. So this is your reaction when you look at it through a very narrow lens, when you look at it as a them problem. You see, when you look, the Nigerian police, and you separate yourself from them. So that's one way to look at it. But I think I'm also trying to highlight specifically, which I attempted yesterday, is to say that whatever is happening is creating a perception, and that perception is informing judgment. So that we probably don't care for judgment internally, but that perception is creating an external kind of judgment, and that judgment is informing how we are treated. And it's for that reason that I say that whatever issues you think is a them problem, maybe it's about time we start seeing it as a our problem. Let me go back to WhatsApp. The ex-police that sought the permanent residency in Canada was just unfortunate. He might not even be involved in corrupt practices when he was in the police service in Nigeria, but the truth is that there is a massive corruption in all facets of our public service in Nigeria, and this epidemic is not even hidden to foreign citizens all over the world. The situation is even becoming worse under the government that are looking the other way when corruption issue is raised. Nigerians need to understand that being mistreated by foreigners and other countries has nothing to do with being law-abiding, legally documented, and polite. When we understand the situation then, such as what we read, will be less traumatizing, and maybe folks will stop assuming other nations and ethnicities are better than Nigerians, Africans, and blacks. To those who don't like you, you cannot do the right or good enough for them to treat you with humanity. Adeolu, I want to ask you, thank you for writing me, by the way. I want to ask you, do you suppose that whatever you think has been the picture painted, whether it's a police officer seeking permanent residence in Canada who was denied because of his affiliation to the Nigerian police force, whom the judge adjudged to be evil, or this Nigerian who isn't illegal, didn't do anything illegal, got to Manila and was treated like a criminal and then finally deported without a reason. The video I played about the military officer who was complaining as to their welfare and how the Nigerian government treats them. You think everything I've attempted to color your imagination with suggests to you that we are supposed to accept it because all right. William says the judge should be sued for racial profiling and defamation without evidence. Does he have evidence of the said policy of the Nigerian police? What's next? Nigerian youths denied visas by virtue of all of them being interested or being internet fraudsters. We should be careful what we applaud. I'm struggling here, and let me. Are you supposing that I'm bringing this conversation here to applaud it? Or are you speaking out of context here? Are you speaking out of reason? Are you removed from here, from the moment? I'm not sure what you mean, applaud. You don't see the problem here? Nigerians, are you trying to impress me? Are you trying to surprise me? Are you saying you deserve the way you're being treated? You can't see what's given rise to you don't see what I'm trying to do? Wait. Good God. Are you so used to abuse that you don't know what it feels like to not be abused? Are you so undeserving of virtue and honor? Are you trying to say to me that because maybe this is why it's happening, because you don't know anything better? We're live streaming on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. If you're going to be on the sunny side, I want you to please take a moment to think. You can attempt to piece together every information that I bring, and I want you to think. I don't want you to react. It's very triggering for me, and I'm trying to be as collected as I can be. I'm saying this with all of the poise I can muster. It's very triggering. All right? You don't even have to write me. But if you're going to write me, I would love for you to attempt thought. Except you're honestly saying haven't considered every fact brought forward, that we're not the problem, that we don't have a problem in this. What others think of us is not our problem because we have personally scrutinized ourselves and we don't have a problem. The sunny side. Let's go to the telephone lines. My name's Joyce. What's your name?
Yeah, good afternoon, Joyce.
Good to have you. Welcome.
It's Emmanuel. I'm speaking to you from Ekwe. I think the Nigerian police sent their image, at that point of that answer. It was reported that some of the countries, I won't say blacklist, but placed Nigerian police officers on a watch list. And that might have informed that judgment, treatment to that officer. Now, are we the cause of our problem? I would say yes, especially our leaders. Because sometimes when they ought to rise up to the responsibility, they don't. And again, because we don't have a good justice system. Because the Yorubas, we say, they have a saying, that you start your good character from home, and then it portray your image, and then that is your character from home represents who you are outside. This is what I'm trying to say. If we had a good justice system, that takes care of law and order, you won't want to believe that if you go to other country and commit crime, you are going to walk away with it. So that will sink into your head, that crime can't be pardoned. The way it's being done in Nigeria. For instance, you are driving on one way, and then you believe you can do it, outside the country, you get away with it, and then you are caught, So the kind of justice system we are operating here, is affecting us when we leave the shores of the country. And again, sometimes when some treatments, are being meted out to us, outside the country, our leaders should respond, accordingly. For instance, when the Super Eagle player at the point, we went to Libya. I think it was Libya. And then the kind of
Pardon me, I truly hate to interrupt you, but please, I have to be off on a break. If you can give me a moment, I'll be back to you, okay?
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Talk, news, and sports after this.
Every day is about winning with one play on Nigeria Info. On Nigeria Info, daily winnings is now over 150,000 naira. Just go go to oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Play with as little as 500 naira, and in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. The more you play, the better your chances of winning every day on the Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, and Game On shows on weekdays, and the Football Frenzy shows on weekends. But that's not all. Every Friday, there will be a 500,000 naira jackpot. Playing during the week automatically qualifies you for the weekly jackpot. Your chances of winning are the same whether you play on oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Remember to play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission. 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Thank you so much for being there, Cole. I do appreciate your waiting.
So it was CAF who came to our intervention. I think disqualified them. Now, on this present case of Philippines, I'll be surprised if the government, does not take it up, and then those people are compensated. Because what those countries do is that once you are, they mention you, and it's confirmed that you are in Nigeria, the first thing that comes into their head, is drug. We are drug pushers. And that is what might have caused that this thing. But it's unfortunate, that they treat those guys, those people like that. And I'll be very, very surprised. You said it happened 2 days ago or so.
Yeah, it just happened. Yeah.
So I'm waiting probably for the next 2 weeks, or a month. And I want the government to respond appropriately, and then those people compensated. Because that kind of story is horrific. Very, very horrific. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you for calling. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. Let's go to WhatsApp, and I'm reading from you. As Nigerians, we have experienced worse treatments at the hands of our governments. The root cause is our insistence on living a lie. I don't see any way out of this log jam until we return to the pre-era 1966 when we operated true federalism. This is Pristine from Lagos. Thank you very much for your message. Goke, this is too long for me. Let's try. Okay. It displeases me to admit that we Nigerians are all cowards and hypocrites. We are too scared to fight for our freedom. We will still see some people supporting the leaders that are oppressing them. We're scared of dying, and that is why we still keep suffering until we Nigerians wake up and take what belongs to us. Many Nigerians are actually messing up other countries, and that's why they turn against us. I saw a video of 2 Nigerians fighting themselves in Oman publicly. On Ghana, a Nigerian crowned himself as long, and in some other countries, some Nigerians are busy peddling hard drugs. Why wouldn't they chase away from their countries? Nigeria is so blessed with everything we need, but we have decided to bless ourselves with bad leadership and are afraid to fight for our rights. It's a shame. Okay, let's see. Improve service military. Okay, this is Bolahon. Thank you. You say, notwithstanding urgent need to improve service conditions of our military police services, it is no justification for xenophobic Canadian judges' action or incompetent racial Filipino immigration officers. Bolahon, why do you think it happened? Why? So I think maybe what you're not doing, you're not asking yourself why it can happen, why it's happened, and why they do. So again, remember that these Nigerians, when the Philippines detained by immigration, they put out some smoke alert to say we're being held here. The company sponsoring them attempted to intervene. They got the Nigerian embassy involved. The embassy made a physical appearance. So I want you to think that's why we are here. It's not enough that you say it's not supposed to happen. Of course it's not supposed to happen. Why is it happening? You don't know, or you don't want to admit it. It's 2 p.m.
It's 2 o'clock. The headline news on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Lagos, here are the headlines we have for you at this time. President Tinubu reaffirms commitment to fighting terrorism and banditry while Nigerian Air Force kills 95 terrorists in Niger State airstrikes. Police Service Commission promotes 4,741 inspectors nationwide as APC may announce new national chairman on Thursday in Abuja. APC member Adamu Garba warns Tinubu is surrounded by sycophants, while 2023 Labour Party vice presidential candidate Deti says Peter Obi knew about his attendance at Labour NEC meeting. Deti says Peter Obi can run in 2027 with or without him. Court strikes out 12.3 billion naira EFCC case against Oba Otudeko, a 26-year-old man killed during cult initiation in Lagos. Nigerian driver drowns at Takwa Bay Beach while swimming with 2 Indian expatriates. CBN retains interest rate at 27.5% to tackle inflation. NECA commends CBN for maintaining steady monetary policy. Senate confirms Natasha Akpotudwagan remains suspended until end of recess. Senate debunks reports on creation of new states. Suspected drug dealers kill NDLEA officer in Ondo State. NAFDAC denies claims of shutdown at Tummy Tummy Noodles factory. Super Falcons beat South Africa to reach WAFCON final. Udinese and Nigerian goalkeeper Maduka Okoye gets 2-month ban over Italy betting scandal. U.S. becomes net crude oil exporter to Nigeria amid refinery shifts. President Trump accuses Obama of treason, demands prosecution over Russia report. Aid groups warn of mass starvation in Gaza, blame Israel. Iran's President Pezeshkian says the country is ready for a new war and doubts Israel ceasefire. Israelis protest Gaza food crisis and forced displacement in Tel Aviv. Tributes pour in for late rock legend Ozzy Osbourne as Amazon set to shut down AI lab in Shanghai. That's all for now. It is back to the sunny side with Joyce. You are listening to 99.3 Nigeria Info, and I am Yvonne. Oh, hi, Phil. Thank you for your time.
If news is your quest, or gist your request, well, somewhere over your rainbows.
Over your rainbow!
Is the sunny side.
They better know it!
With Joyce.
Let's talk.
We hold it to be worthy of note. You're on the sunny side. My name's Joyce. If you have just tuned in, I want to quickly recap that story. So largely it's going to be a paraphrasing, but I'm going to try to highlight what I think are the most important elements. So a Nigerian gets invited to the Philippines. She goes with her best friend and they prepare themselves legally and every other necessary wise, and then embark on a flight from Nigeria to Philippines. Everything was fine until immigration. So immigration meets them and decides to start searching every inch of their human existence, including the use of sniff dogs. So I guess the immigration probably was sniffing for drugs, because according to her, they sniffed their bags, collectively their purses, their underwears, even their bodies. And then about 30 officers, of course, were about them, surrounding them. Some were making videos, and they didn't know what they had done or what the attention pretty much was, or the reason for which there was so much attention on them. And then they say that they were detained. At least the first part of the detention, she reports, was for about she said from about 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. She says at least were detained. We were being held from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Then they took our baggage tags and told us to follow them. At least 30 officers surrounded us, some holding cameras. We were terrified. They scanned our bags while speaking in their local language. They sent over sniff dogs. They checked everything, including underwear, hair care products, skincare, empty containers, every inch of them, pretty much. Okay, good. So recorded. We tried to record for our protection. We were told it wasn't allowed. but we found a discreet way to capture some parts of it. Afterwards, the dog came to sniff them, and then just trying to get to the point of it. My legs were hurting. I'd been standing for so long. The company sponsoring them wrote to the embassy. Someone sent a message here saying that maybe the company may have had illegal status. That would be inaccurate because the company wrote to them to try to intervene. The Nigerian embassy also intervened. Nothing changed. And then right there at the airport, the immigration officers rescheduled their flight and had them return back to Nigeria. And while they were waiting to depart the country, they were sent into a holding cell, and there they found other Nigerians who had been there for months. And the cell held not only adults, it also held children. There was a man who I guess pretty much was descending into psychosis because they said he screamed randomly and often too. And they say that they spoke to people there, but she doesn't tell us why they were being detained. Criminality may not be one of it because it's not quite stated here. And usually when immigration finds you to have violated their law, say for example you had drugs, they're not going to put you in a holding cell. I mean, they have grounds to truly prosecute you by their law. So that's not what this is. I'm just saying. So after all of that, they put them on a flight and sent them back home, even with the physical presence of Nigerian immigration in the Philippines and the Nigerian embassy in the Philippines. That took the breath out of my lungs, you know. So to be honest with you, she's saying that even the Philippines immigration didn't tell them what was happening. So they're back in Nigeria, but don't know why they were sent back. Nothing was given. But nothing was also found. You see that? Nothing was also found. So maybe there are, you know, things happening. But to be honest with you, if nothing is the outcome, if they found nothing, then the Nigerians who went there didn't arrive there and they're charged with violating the laws of that land, you don't see the problem here? I'm rigid with shock because, you know, I think things are bad, but I don't. It's when I hear stories like this I begin to comprehend how bad is this thing. The sunny side. Welcome to the show, Skype caller. Thank you for being here. Nigeria Info.
Yeah. Joyce, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, this is Simon calling from Belgium.
Good to have you.
Yeah, you know, the issue of this discussion you guys are discussing today is very dramatical because we have lost, even safe in Nigeria, the way the authority treat us in Nigeria. I don't know how to describe it. There's not, because I had an issue with one guy when I was taking truck to Alaba. Now
you were taking medication. Medication. You say drugs?
No. A truck.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, to Alaba.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when our truck stopped, some area boys tried to rob us. Now I ran to the police. When I get to Festac police station there, I said, look guys, look, this is what is happening. I need a policeman to come and safeguard the container. They said they don't have fuel in their car. That if I want to go with them, I have to provide money for them to buy fuel. So this is Nigeria. So the way they treat us in Nigeria is nothing to write home about. So how do they call it? Nigeria embassy in Philippines. Nobody trusts them because they don't have value, because we have lost our value internationally. We have lost our value internationally. So the way they treat Nigerians outside, even is even better the way the Nigerian authorities are treating us. So I have an issue with a friend that lives in China, has an issue with his passport. When he get to Nigeria embassy in Beijing, for them to help him, Joyce, do you know what happened? They told him, as far as you're an Igbo man, you have to pay. As far as you are an Igbo man, you have to pay.
Oh, wow, really? Are you sure you're just making that up?
No. Joyce, I'm telling you this. How I don't want to swear with the name of God. But this guy, they tell him, look, if you want us to help you, you must pay because you are an Igbo man.
Yeah, but they can't quite say that because I'm sorry, I cannot understand that. I've never even heard that before. But they can't quite say that because it's not a. Okay.
That's what they told the guy. And at the end of the day, the Nigerian embassy.
Doesn't everybody pay to have a passport renewed?
No, this is not passport renewed.
What is it?
Issue which is it's having issue with documents.
So they would have done it free of charge if it was somebody else, but they wouldn't do.
Yes, they say once as far as you're an Igbo man, you have to pay.
In China.
Yes, in China, and at the end of the day, Nigerian embassy could not help the guy.
Even after he paid.
Even after he paid, they said no. Because the Chinese embassy...
The first condition, the first line, according to you, the first was he should pay. So he paid, and then they can't help him. So like they robbed him, basically, is what you're saying.
No. When he paid, the Chinese people rejected the paper that the Nigerian embassy provided. That should tell you how low Nigerian nation has become now.
No, but that cannot be accurate. You know why? Except it's illegal. Except the document is a fraud. Can you see that? The document has to be a fraud for it to be rejected. It cannot, pardon me, it cannot be because they don't respect the country. As long as the country allows another country come there on their soil as a representation of, the other country, except the document is a fraud, it's not going to be because they don't like us, Do you understand what I'm saying?
But how can a paper from Nigerian embassy be a force of fraud? From Nigerian
embassy, you are saying that they rejected, that they didn't accept the paper. So accept the paper is a fraud.
Yes, they did because they don't trust Nigerians. That's what they say categorically, and they rejected it.
What kind of gist? So just because if the Chinese government doesn't trust Nigeria, the embassy, then they have a right to eject them from there, or they still retain the embassy, but they don't trust them, so they don't take anything that comes out of them, even the embassy in China.
Yes,
you're making this up. I think you're making it up,
Joyce. If I
because in a sense, what your gist. In a sense, the Chinese government according to your gist, the Chinese government, if they condone the Nigerian embassy when they think the Nigerian embassy there is fraudulent, then they themselves are condoning fraud. For you get what I'm saying? They are condoning fraud. For them to know that the embassy is fraudulent or are carrying out fraudulent activities, are silent about it, then that's what's wrong with your story. Then the country itself, China, according to you, is condoning fraud from the Nigerian government. Expressly, that's exactly what it is. So there's something wrong with your story. You either don't have the accurate information or you're lying.
Okay, thank you.
That's what I think. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to not listen to the import of the argument. If the Chinese government knows that embassy is fraudulent, they would do something about it on a federal level, because that's exactly what they're supposed to do. If they don't do anything, then the country, China, is condoning fraud. And yeah, you know what Chinese people are with fraud. At least I think so. So except maybe I'm not getting the story right or you're not telling it right. It just appears to not be so accurate. The sunny side. Good afternoon, Joyce. Why won't they treat us this way abroad? Charity begins at home. How are our so-called leaders treating us? The world is a global village. All over the world, they see us, and the way our politicians and other unscrupulous elements have messed us up. Your passport is as good as how your country is as good is how your country government, I'm not sure what that is, but until we rise up against bad governance and we put in place a government that will put Nigerians first, we will continue to be treated this way. Thank you very much. This is Martins from Germany. The reason why Nigerians are treated poorly abroad is as a result of bad governance and leadership. As long as your country is not doing well politically, economically, and socially, you will be profiled at every given opportunity. Nigerians are good people, yes. There are a few bad ones, just like in every country. We also should name and shame those few Nigerians who are tarnishing our reputation. We're quick to congratulate people who make money without knowing the source of their money. Once we have a right leadership, the image of the country will improve rapidly. Thank you. This is a Nigerian who is in Germany. I don't think my heart has been broken on your program like today. It is sad that the leadership we have in this country have just aimed towards messing up the country. They travel out, but they do not learn anything to bring back home. Rather, they are just holding on tight to power and move their children out of the country only to return and lord themselves over the masses. Let's see you here. Nigerians are being treated badly abroad because of bad governance, poor leadership, and non-functioning institutions, from the judiciary to security agencies. This is Paul from London. You guys are plenty abroad, though. Good afternoon. You say the nasty attitude of some of our so-called brothers is irritating. They've exported cultism abroad, killings, beheading, fighting on the streets in Dubai, Qatar, Italy, Manila, Philippines, Malaysia, South Africa, Ghana, even the UK. It's appalling. All right. This one says, can you please restart? Well, I try to recap the story. I hope you caught that. Thank you very much. Every country has criminals. Nobody throws away the baby with the bathwater. Nigeria needs to protect its own and stop being cheap to the world. This is Ifeanyi from Scotland. I think Nigerians overseas are all over the place on the show, all over the show this afternoon. This is May from the UK. She says, I think there's something we might be missing here. From what I understand, the reason the people weren't allowed in is because the person sponsoring them was in the country since 2009 and hasn't returned. It seems like they believe these individuals may also come and not return. That could be why they describe the reason as personal. It's sad that our government wouldn't even do a right thing. This is May from the UK. May, you will have to remember that the story, the account of the person whose perspective we're looking through, is that they told immigration that this person you are asking us about is outside. Let's call her. She's willing to come forward. So that dismantles your perspective, because she was willing to come forward and immigration refused to give them any contact out. So I don't think your perspective is exactly what may be assumed to be the problem, because the person was willing to come forward and immigration, according to this account, refused to speak to the person. Richard from Ikoyi says, it's really appalling to some of the callers heaping the blames on citizens. The problem here is from the leadership. Our passport is trashed today because of them. Some Nigerians need to understand how well respected our passport was back in the day. It has nothing to do with crime, but everything to do with leadership and how we're being treated in our own country. Our leaders are the weapon fashioned against us. My name is Mohammed from Isheri. The level at which reputation of this country has been damaged internationally is terrible. Massive denial of U.S. visas has been meted to Nigerians. We don't deserve what Nigerians are going through right now. Our government leaders make it worse. They also display character that further damages the Nigerian image. This is John. You are listening from Dallas. Okay, John, let me see. I understand when you guys go on a commercial. I think you're having a technical problem here, so thank you, John, for bringing it to my attention. I'm going to have my engineers look at it. All right, I'm not sure what the issue is, but I'm sure they can help us out, okay? But thank you so much for writing me. I do appreciate. Let's see who else is here. The root cause of the problem is that we have no honor amongst the nations. Corruption, low currency value, stacking funds in other countries, human rights violations, begging for loans have spoilt our name. Also, citizens often commit crime and rob illicit wealth in the faces of others. Therefore, we are hated and maltreated. Until we fix our country, stop crime, and be modest, the lamentation will continue. Yomi from Victoria Island, Joyce, on the issue of other countries treating us badly, it shows how much our government values us. We have a bigger issue here. It's affecting every innocent Nigerian. It's high time our government cut off relationship with the Philippines. It's high time we clean things up. We're clean the things that we tolerate in this country. Our country, that any country that maltreats us or mistreats us should do the same to their citizens. Any country that no, they're not going to do that to their citizens, at least not in the way that they do to you. It seems as though something informs their action or the reaction to you. Something is informing it, and I thought it would be a great conversation if we're going to be honest enough. Someone sent me a message saying that if Nigeria is working, the Philippine government should be on its knees by now. I guess in an apology, maybe. I'm actually trying to find that message. It says if the Nigerian government's serious, that the Filipino ambassador should be issuing an apology at this point. Nobody's saying that you are applauding the situation of the policy. But we're blaming the government for not putting things right here. This is Ted from Igondo. No, Ted. No. You can't quite speak for me. I'm speaking for myself. Someone sent a message. And he ended with, let's be careful what we applaud. I know exactly what he was saying because it was very explicit. He didn't leave any room for doubt. So I'm taking it exactly for what it was. And he didn't quite suppose that we have a problem. But something is informing the way we're being treated. So it's utterly disrespectful for the Nigerian embassy in the Philippines to make a physical appearance. And for that not to mean anything over the representation of its citizens who are not illegal or have done anything illegal. And according to the Nigerians, they were not told anything by the embassy to say, well, this is what they told us you did, or this is what they said is the reason for why they're not letting you in. After everything that they've done to you, nothing was the answer. So it's like, oh, where does this end? Have you realized none of you have spoken about the Nigerians in that detention? Am I the only person bothered here? Those Nigerians in that, we have Nigerians in detention in the Philippines, and we don't know their story. The best the government can do is deport them, right? Rather than have them there without sunlight. Do you know what that does psychologically? The message is reporting that there's a man who screams randomly. There are people there who haven't seen sunlight in a year. The Philippines are not calling them criminals. They're just in detention. For what? Send them back. The sunny side. We hold it to be worthy of note.
Good afternoon.
Good to have you.
Good afternoon.
I can hear you. Good afternoon to you. Welcome. What's your name?
Hello.
Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for being here. The sunny side.
Okay, Joyce. Thank you. Please give me an extended time. This is Chris. I stay in Accra, but I'm in Lagos presently.
Now, I have a commercial break in about a minute and a half, so you want to run?
Okay, let me run. First of all, let me address the Philippines issue from my own belief. Number one, we notice that countries can return you even if you have a valid visa. They can return you at the airport. If you watch border patrol, they can do that, and they can give you. What Nigerian needs to do is the Nigerian embassy.
Wait. For no reason, right? You're saying for no reason?
They must give you a reason.
Did you hear the story I've been telling?
I heard the story.
What are you saying now? You speak to the story now.
The ladies should write to the Nigerian embassy. Nigerian embassy in Philippines, the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of External Affairs should let us know why those ladies were returned. That's number one. Number two, they were returned and kept in a holding cell because they had a return ticket. Those people in the holding cell don't have return tickets.
Deport them. They don't need a ticket to be deported, right?
No. Yes, deportation is a different thing. Those ladies were returned because they had a return ticket. They were returned immediately. I was deported from Canada in 2001. And then I arrived in Canada, Ontario. And the same flight that brought me returned me back. It was an Egypt Air connection flight. And I was taken to Egypt. Now, after that time, Egypt Air was flying Nigeria only once a week. I think every Tuesday thereabouts. And I came into that country at about on Wednesday, the next day. I had to wait
Hold on, I want to be off on a break, okay? Just wait.
This is not just a debate. It's a battle of minds. A clash of brilliance. A war of words. And only one champion. One true champion will rise. The regional champions are ready. The stage is set. The stakes higher than ever before. Catch the I Beg to Differ National Finals live on all Nigeria Info FM and Kids FM stations nationwide. It's intellect, it's passion, it's the future in action. Debate redefined. The IBTD National Tournament begins August 11th, 2025. Only on Nigeria Info FM and Kids FM nationwide. For sponsorship, call 0805-581-5844 or email ibegtodiffer@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions. We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
We're back, caller. Okay, round up your thoughts. Okay, good.
Okay, so I was detained and then I came into Egypt, Cairo. I was kept at the airport. They had an airport hotel there. I was kept in the airport because I had a return ticket. And then 2 days to my return ticket was 2 days to the departure of the flight. I was taken to the holding cell. And the holding cell, I saw Nigerians there. They didn't have tickets. Now they had to give me numbers to come back to Nigeria and call. If you have tickets, if people can buy tickets for you, you show the immigration people, they'll put you on the flight. Now deportation doesn't mean that they deport you. Who is paying for the flight ticket? So deportation happens in sequence. They can batch a group of people, like 50 people, and deport them. It depends on if the countries have deportation policy. Or like the embassy will want to deport them. But somebody must surely pay for the flight fare of the deportation. So if you have a valid ticket, they will deport you. But the question leaves to be answered is, how do you now keep people in holding cells and be feeding them? And you can feed them for up to 1 year.
So you don't think the Philippines should deport them if rather than put them in a? You think you're justifying them being held in a holding cell than the Philippines deporting them?
That's the question I'm asking. The question should be, why keep people in holding cell for 1 year, 2 years, and you be feeding them? Ordinarily, you should have deported them. But then everything lies with the embassy. So this is a proverb I say. In Igbo land, they say, and that's what people will call it. So Nigerians have the embassy in Nigeria, in our consulates and missions abroad, even in Ghana where I stay, they mess up the society, they mess up the people. If you live within the ambit of the law, I bet you immigration have come to my house in Ghana many times. Even when I'm here, my son or my wife will come and say immigration. So I say, give them the phone. Because I'm confident of how I'm staying there. And I will talk to them. Anything at the border post, please take me to the police. Please take me to court. But if you deal with immigration people, they will intimidate you. And more often than not, Nigerians are not quite enlightened when they are traveling. If you see those people that are enlightened, these ladies that you're talking about, I'm very sure they are enlightened. And that's why all these things happen to them. And they have the right to follow it up, no matter how long it takes.
Thank you.
To follow the process.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Thank you very much for calling. The sunny side. Good afternoon to you. Nigerians, you should be enraged. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hello, Joyce. Good afternoon.
Final caller. What's your name, please?
Godwin from Otta.
Thank you, Godwin.
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Robert. God bless him. Sometimes, some of us, when we talk sometimes, we seem to forget what we have already said for the past few weeks. This is, some people will love this government, never see something wrong in this government. We just want, they just rise up and pick a phone and call and said that Nigeria should stay back and fight so that this country will be better. And this is what we have been saying for long. Joyce, there is nothing somebody wants to tell me that all these things that other countries are doing us is because of the way our leaders are treating us. And that is what many people have been saying. Just look at the way the leaders treat us. You want to tell me that other countries, that they don't commit crime or they don't carry drugs, they carry it. But because of their judiciary is working and they take their government to court and the good judgment. But here in Nigeria, the way our government are treating us, our legislation is not working, our judiciary is not working, and you expect other countries to treat you fine when you come over there. And again, Joyce, sometimes other foreign country, when they come over to Nigeria here, when they come and commit a crime, we arrest them, then we take them back to their country and even beg their government that their own government should handle their case. And they are marking us. And whenever our own people now come over to their own country, they know that we deported some, or maybe we reported one or two things about them. They want to take that. They want to use it to fight us back. Okay, if we arrest any of them, any of the foreign country, maybe they come here to come and commit a crime. What do we do to them? Do we sanction them? We don't have that power. We don't have that power. Okay. If we tell them that them not to come here into this country, we can do that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for calling. It's 2:30. I have to hand over now to Desmond. On a final note, I want you to know that the Nigerian embassy in the Philippines made a physical appearance. I think I can shake that off. It's 2:30. The sun has set. My work is done. Maybe the Nigerian government will respond. Once they do, I'll share that feedback with you. We're waiting for an update as the story develops. My name is Joyce. The sun has set. My work's done.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens.